People really don't know what their expenses will be because they don't know how long that they're going to live.
Americans are worried they won't have enough saved for retirement now more than ever.
Retirement is going to cost, for many folks, over $1 million.
Is no sure thing in investing, but a lot of people think that annuities may come close to that.
It's going to more safe things that they know. If they know they're going to need that money to supplement their retirement, well, then you can't play that risk.
This is the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr., founder and partner of Heischman Financial Services, serving the Columbus and surrounding areas. Jon specializes in educating pre-retirees and retirees about safe money strategies and ideas. Now, it's the Safe Money and Retirement Show. Here's Jon Heischman Sr.
Welcome. This is Jon Heischman bringing you Safe Money and Retirement Show. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to discuss Roth IRAs. Now, past shows, I have done that, but I've received several requests from listeners that would like to learn and hear about the basics. So I'm going to do that for you. And at the end of the show, I encourage you to call me with your questions. And if you'd like to schedule a meeting to see if a Roth IRA would work into your planning. Here's the number, 614-861-7055. I'll repeat, 614-861-7055. The main advantage of the Roth IRA lies in the tax-free treatment of distributions for the owner and the beneficiary. No deduction is available when you make a contribution to a Roth IRA. All contributions are made with after-tax dollars in exchange for the tax-free treatment of distributions. And of course, one of the most important parts of the Roth IRA is eligibility. So Roth IRA contributions are subject only to the earned income requirement as well as the annual income limits. Neither active status nor age is relevant in determining an eligibility situation. Now, unlike traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs do not require an individual to determine the deductibility of a contribution or to determine whether an individual or their spouse is an active participant. For Roth IRAs, determining eligibility is based solely on income. Now, you might be thinking that based on your tax situation and you need the tax write-off, you don't have the tax-deductible contribution with a Roth IRA. And of course, that's true. Many of my clients will have both. And depending on their situation, their taxes each year, or looking ahead from the previous tax year, they have an option to make a contribution to a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA because they have both. Both will continue to grow whether you make a contribution or not. So 1 year, you may make that contribution to the Roth IRA. Next year, you need the tax write-off. Your contributions go towards a traditional IRA. In 2023, individuals filing as single taxpayers with modified adjusted gross income up to $153,000 and married joint filers with modified adjusted income up to $228,000. can and are eligible to contribute to their Roth IRA. Unlike those traditional IRAs where distributions must start at age 73, those Roth IRAs are not subject to mandatory required minimum distribution rules. And that is the major advantage of a Roth IRA. In planning retirements for many individuals over the years, I have often thought that at the time a retiree is going to take income distributions, they wish at that time that all of their accounts were non-IRAs, non-traditional IRAs, or Roth IRAs, because, as I mentioned, the Roth IRA distribution is tax-free, and those non-traditional IRA accounts, only the interest earned is taxable. If you ever get to a point where the growth has been distributed and you're into principal, that's a tax-free source of income. Couple that with a Roth IRA, and you've drastically reduced your retirement income. But typically that is not the case because there are 401ks, qualified retirement plans, traditional IRAs that an individual has contributed to during their working years. They got the deduction, which helped in their peak earning years and reduced their taxable income. So I see the majority of money that's going to distribute retirement income coming from qualified plans that are taxable. So I say to younger people, establish a Roth, get it started, let it grow, have it available for making contributions to this Roth account when and if you can. Our firm, Heischman Financial Services, has many different options. Quite frankly, all the options available for a Roth IRA. Be happy to talk about that with you, depending on your risk tolerance as to what plan would be right for you. 614-861-7055 is our office number. Establishing a Roth IRA would make sense. You've got a younger person that is in, let's say, the 12% tax bracket due to modest earnings. If their career progresses, the tax bracket may go up to 24 or 32%, or in some situations, even higher. And when this individual reaches age 59 and a half or enters retirement, they may prefer to pay the taxes on the funds contributed now and receive that tax-free distribution later. Also, anyone who suspects that the tax rates may change for the worse in the future, U.S. tax rates for middle and upper income earners are low compared to the rates that we saw in the 1960s and 70s. What about individuals saving for a first home? For the first-time homebuyer, the unique ability to take an early distribution without penalty makes the Roth IRA a very attractive vehicle for accumulating that down payment. And what about individuals who want to pass on assets tax-free for their beneficiaries? Wealth transfer. But while there are minimum distribution requirements with that Roth IRA for beneficiaries, once the 5-year holding period requirement is met, beneficiaries of the account can still receive tax-free distributions. And these are reasons that the Roth conversion has become so popular, is to pay the tax now, get that traditional IRA over to a Roth, satisfy that 5-year holding period rule, and build up that account that's going to establish either a tax-free income or, well, I guess I should say, and or a distribution to your beneficiary. When I plan retirement income, I always take the spouse into consideration because income is going to need to continue to the spouse. And if there's any way they can be put into a low tax bracket because they inherited a Roth IRA, what a great planning concept. I mentioned the Roth conversion, and I'm going to discuss that in more detail after the break. So stay tuned. I'll return in just a minute.
Thanks for listening to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman. For more information, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Or visit their website at HeischmanFS.com. More of the Safe Money and Retirement Show in a moment.
Avoiding mistakes can save owners of IRAs, 401ks, and TSP plans, as well as other retirement plans, a fortune in taxes, penalties, fees, and loads. These potential mistakes are addressed in the free book entitled Top 10 IRA Mistakes. This is Jon Heischman from the Safe Money and Retirement Show, offering a complimentary copy by calling 888-426-0177. Again, that's 888-426-0177. Have you heard about the color of money, which is the model of investing where your money is categorized into 3 different colors: yellow, green, and red? Yellow money is liquidity, cash reserves, and an emergency fund. Green money has no risk, an average to above average rate of return. It also generates additional retirement income guaranteed for life. Red money is money at risk with maximum potential growth. This is Jon Heischman from the Safe Money and Retirement Show, and I want to make sure your retirement plan assets are positioned correctly in these colors. Call me at 888-426-0177. Again, 888-426-0177.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman. To contact Jon, the number to call is 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Once again, here's Jon Heischman.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I'm your host, Jon Heischman. I've been talking about Roth IRA accounts, and as mentioned, Roth conversions are unique to the Roth IRA. It's the ability to accept converted IRA funds of a traditional IRA. You can take a traditional IRA, convert that to a Roth IRA with no time or income restrictions. Pre-tax dollars are subject to ordinary income tax at the time of conversion, but they're not subject to the 10% early withdrawal penalty, even if you're under 59 and a half. If a withdrawal of converted IRA funds is made from the Roth account, subject to the conversion, but let's say before 5 years has elapsed, such a withdrawal is subject to the 10% penalty. Now, I think the fact that you can do a conversion under age 59 and a half is a big benefit for those, let's say you're in mid-late 40s and 50s and you want to convert. You're not subject to any type of withdrawal penalty as you would be with a traditional IRA. So convert as early as possible. Now, if there is what we call a cost basis in a traditional IRA, and this is non-deductible contributions or after-tax contributions, then these contributions must be taken into account when calculating how much of the conversion amount is going to be taxable. In other words, all IRAs must be added together, and the tax on the conversion will be calculating using the pro rata rule, meaning you cannot separate and convert only non-deductible after-tax contributions to avoid the tax. All right, it sounds complicated, and I understand that, but when you know how to convert and all the aspect and rules of converting, it's not that difficult. Before I recommend that a client execute a Roth conversion, I want to know and make sure it's going to be a desirable move, considering the overall tax diversification of each client's portfolio. Let me give you an example. If I have a client and already has a large tax-deferred accumulation, but little to no accumulation in a tax-free account, I think a conversion should be considered. Also, if that client has the cash to pay the tax that is going to result from a conversion, or if they will be liquidating another account and even possibly incurring a 10% early withdrawal penalty or transactions fees. So we have to take this into consideration, find out how the tax on the conversion is going to be paid. And quite frankly, that's why I see more and more clients convert a small portion each year. Example, you've got a $100,000 traditional IRA. What about converting 25% per year for 4 years? The tax hit is less. We're spreading it out over 4 years. And I think it is more popular to do it at younger ages than getting ready to retire. Because remember, we have to satisfy that 5-year rule. Now, knowing that each client that we work with, there may be some facing a higher tax bill due to the Roth conversion. So I want to look at other opportunities to lower their AGI for the year. And these possibilities could include increasing contributions to a qualified plan, which we call bunching, itemized deductions from surrounding years, taking capital losses, and maybe contributing to a health savings account or a flexible spending account. One thing that has become very popular in employer retirement accounts, let's say a 401k plan, I see many are giving the employee an option to put money into a Roth IRA. That being the case, there are two benefits to an employer Roth IRA that a lot of people aren't aware of. That is, the annual contribution limit is higher. Back in 2023, it was $22,500 that may be deferred in a Roth 401k or even a Roth 403b plus an additional $7,500 if the participant is age 50 and older, much higher than an individually owned Roth IRA. Also, contributions to employer Roth accounts, they can be made by all participants regardless of income. Obviously, this isn't going to be the situation with a Roth IRA since contributions phase out at $228,000, and this was back in the year of 2023 for a married couple filing jointly. Executing a what we call backdoor Roth IRA contribution can get around this difference. Another important point I would like to discuss is what we call ERISA protection. Now, this is where traditional IRAs have up to $1 million in assets protected from creditors, let's say in a bankruptcy filing. Assets in a qualified plan include Roth 401ks. They are fully insulated from the claims of creditors. If the assets in the traditional IRA originated from a qualified plan, say a 401k, then the amount can be in excess of $1 million. But the $1 million cap would apply if the IRA proceeds are then rolled over into a second IRA. And one thing I do want to mention so you can keep in mind is ERISA covers all judgments, not just bankruptcy. So this means that any assets held in an ERISA protected account have that additional layer of protection. Roth IRA conversions, they could be a great thing for each individual if it's right for them. We have to look at each individual situation to make sure. The important point is, how is the tax going to be paid, and is the tax going to make a difference on your taxable income for that year that it is converted? But as a planner, it's like every other aspect of retirement planning. I've got to know the situation, meaning everything that I've discussed, in order to advise whether you should convert your traditional IRA money or part of it to a Roth IRA account. Those of you that are still working but around retirement age, maybe you're receiving Social Security income or a pension, but the key is you're still working, we will want to look at contributions going to an existing Roth account or a converted Roth account. In any event, Roth conversions could greatly benefit your retirement income in the future, and we want to review your situation to see if it works. Call me at 614-861-7055. That number again, 614-861-7055. I welcome the opportunity to review your IRA accounts, maybe combining multiple IRAs into one account, converting all or a portion in order to get that Roth account started. Visit our website, HeischmanFS.com, HeischmanFS.com. That's for Heischman Financial Services. For more information about Roth conversions, I will have that forwarded to you at no cost or obligation. 614-861-7055. Thank you for joining me with the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I'm your host, Jon Heischman.
The Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr. To get in touch with Jon, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. For more information about Heischman Financial Services, visit their website, HeischmanFS.com. That's HeischmanFS.com. Join us again next time for the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr.